with me, and then Dave Mortel will be taking over. So it's been a pleasure. We'll just start with a moment of quiet. So remember to breathe while you're quiet. I'd recommend that. While we're present for each other and being calm, thinking about the fellowship together, what we'll learn, what we'll discover. Remember that as you breathe in, one of our goals is to have goodwill, understanding, and build peace. Not always quiet, but and as we breathe out with a smile, some loving kindness, and share your light and your presence with your peers and our colleagues. So thank you for that. It also helps me to get calm because I get nervous up here too. For the 4-way test, may I have a volunteer? Cynthia.
In all the things we think, say, and do. First, second, for who will be beneficial to all concerned, and fifth, will be
Thank you very much, Cynthia. Just a pause for reflection. This slide, although they're stones, they have life. We can create things from matter and things that matter. In addition, the way we energize matter is with biology and chemical bonds and things that Sue knows way more about than I do. But in these days with digital interfaces, we can actually connect human bonds across electronic interfaces, which is super cool and super scary. So as we take time to reflect on the life of Nick Colas, I'd welcome Bill to come up and share a few words and go from there. Bill.
I think all of you know that Nick was a Rotarian in our club. He was also a Paul Harris Fellow, and his son, Ari, is also a Rotarian at the other club. But Nick was born in 1936 from a large family in, I think this actually pronounced Patras, Greece, which is in northwest Peloponnesian Peninsula, and it was a family of 12. He grew up in Greece and moved to Austin, Minnesota in 1954. He graduated from Austin Community College and University of Minnesota, and he opened up the Apollo liquor stores that we're all familiar with. In a conversation with Nick, he relayed the reason he named it Apollo is because he was so impressed with the U.S. space program. And in 1969, when we landed on the moon, it was with the Apollo lunar modules, the spacecraft. So he named it after that. He also said it had something to do with the Greek goddess Apollo as well. The thing about Nick was he always lived for the country of Greece and for his family. Whenever you met him, and for those who attended the Greek Fest in Rochester, he always walked around with his bottle of ouzo and kept pouring it to all the guests. He was so inviting to all of them, and he always loved to talk about the country of Greece and invited people to come. His 3 sons are in Rochester. Ari is the one that we know from Rotarian. And every summer they would go, Nick and the family would go back to Greece, and they would stay for at least 6 weeks. And talking to Ari, every son would go there for 2 weeks and kind of overlap to take care of Nick, even though Nick never thought he needed to be taken care of. So with that, and, you know, he has been married several times, and his most recent, was Anne, and she was back when they got married in 1997, and she was caring for him, up until the very, very end. He enjoyed traveling. He enjoyed, promoting the country of Greece. He was a longtime fan of that, and whenever you sat at a table, he was very, very, you know, kind of raspy and soft-spoken, but you knew he really was a friendly, warm individual, and he really, really loved his home country of Greece. So with that, a moment of silence of remembrance for Nicholas.
Thank you, Bill. I think Nick's memory of family applies to us right now. We have a lot of youth too that watch in our wings how we build community based on family. And this is Youth Service Month. So I'd like to take this opportunity to give Tia a flag as part of the exchange. And Tia, if you want to just say a few words about Denmark, since you love Denmark just as much as Dick loves Greece.
Thank you very much. I know my mom sent me here, very obligatory with a flag too to give to you guys. So I'll come with that for another point. But is it now I do my presentation? No. Okay. Well, thank you, and I'll speak more later.
Thank you, Tia. Next, we'd like to just introduce and induct Vincent Brown. So Suzanne, if you'd like to come up, and Vincent, you're not really a new Rotarian, you're just I was going to say displaced, but you're a welcome Rotarian. Would you like to use your? Thank you. Suzanne, if you want to come up here, and then we'll present the pin.
It is with great pleasure that I have the opportunity to introduce Vincent Brown to you. He wrote a very interesting biography that I will read. Throughout my life, I have embarked on diverse journeys driven by both personal ambition and a deep sense of responsibility to my community. Born to an English mother who sought the English flag from my birth, I spent my formative years in the Republic of Ireland before venturing across the Atlantic to British Columbia, Canada, in pursuit of adventure. Despite my background in architectural design apprenticeship, I momentarily diverted into the mining industry, albeit briefly recognizing the perilous nature of asbestos and swiftly pivoting towards safer pursuits. Upon settling in California, I seamlessly integrated into architectural offices where I not only honed my professional skills, but also embarked on the journey of family life. However, the allure of new challenges beckoned once more, leading me to the rugged landscapes of Alaska, where the demands of the Alaskan Pipeline project necessitated a shift in focus back to my architectural expertise. Amidst the challenges of balancing work and family, fate led me to my second wife, herself deeply committed to public service through the U.S. Public Health System Service. Together we forged a blended family, united in purpose and dedication to serving others. In 1988, as our own children matured and ventured out into the world, we embarked on a new chapter of service, opening our home to therapeutic foster care for emotionally disturbed adolescents. Over the ensuing decades, we provided a nurturing environment for 47 adolescents, with an additional 5 finding their way into our care each staying for an average of 3 to 5 years. While we may not have discovered penicillin, we take immense pride in knowing that our efforts save lives and providing hope to those in need. So my contributions beyond the realm of professionalism and family duties, I was honored by the Eagle River Rotary with the prestigious Paul Harris Award, acknowledging my significant impact in the realm of therapeutic foster care. Outside of my commitments to community service, my passions encompass the realms of oil, acrylic, and watercolor painting, as well as woodworking. In alignment with the ethos of Rotary, I stand ready to lend my expertise and support further the organization's noble goals. And with that, we welcome Vincent Brown. Okay, we'll see.
If we can get out of the bag.
These are always difficult.
Ouch.
Okay. There's the two of us here. There we go, I'm gonna lose it. Okay.
Ouch.
There we go. Congratulations.
Need a
You
photograph.
guys want a picture?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. Be together. Okay, thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Glad to be here. You guys, welcome. Thank you.
Welcome, Vincent, and thank you for being such an exemplary Rotarian. And I learned more about each of you all at these meetings and beyond, but thank you for your service. So next we'd like to just pass around this, or do you want to welcome guests, Don? What's your first duty?
Thank you very much. First, we want to welcome a visiting Rotarian from the Rochester Risers Club, Deb Christensen. Are you here? Oh, right here. Okay. Great to have you. Thank you for being with us today. And then we have Toby Hatlavig right here, and you are a host family for Dia, right? Wonderful. We couldn't do this program without you folks, so thank you, thank you. Glad to have you here today. And then I would like to introduce a longtime friend of mine, Mr. John McKee, right here. And John is also from, also lived in Waverly for many years. In fact, when our family moved to Waverly 15 years ago, John sold us our condo there, which we dearly love. And John moved to Rochester here 7 years ago, was it?
Yes.
Okay. And he and his wife Rosie have a gorgeous view of Silver Lake. They live way at the top of, what's it called, Buena Vista? Buena Vista there. And John is a former Rotarian, a past Rotarian. He was past president of the Waverly Club, which I belong to, before coming up here. So he is a prospective member, very interested in Rotary and what we do. So thank you, John. Glad to have you here today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We have another host family back here, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you
Jamie
are
and Ethan.
Jamie and Ethan. Great. Thank you, thank you. Did I miss anybody else? I hope I didn't. You gonna say something, John?
No, I just, oh, sign-ups there.
Oh, yeah, we need these, right?
Yeah, so you got it.
Yep, we'll have them right here. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Don, and welcome to all the guests. One more round of applause. Thank you very much, Frank. you're handling finances, so if you'd like to pass around the happy thoughts.
All right, who's ready for happy dollars? Are you gonna go first, Patrick?
I'll go last.
She's gonna go last. Happy dollars, time for happy dollars, happy thoughts, happy whatever. Why am I finance? I have to collect the money. That's not. I've got $1 in my pocket. I'll get it out in a moment. Who's going first over here? I see Bill reaching for something and Al.
Okay, I don't have my credit card.
Oh, good. We're gonna take the grip off.
I just want to say it's nice to be here when I'm here, and I apologize for not attending as much as I have. But it's so nice to see everybody enthusiastically here. So thank you.
I have happy bucks to express my joy at being a Rotarian and having had an adventure with another couple out in Philadelphia and Washington, D.C., visiting museums that we've only read about. So it was exhilarating, but I missed some meetings, and it's good to be back. Thank you.
Working my way over here. Christie.
This is for my daughter Cassidy. She got her elementary education degree from Winona State last Friday. And if anybody knows of any connections in the cities for teaching jobs, let me know.
And mine's for Tia and for everyone who helped support Tia this last year, especially those who gave to support her East Coast trip and attended our Danish dinner or just gave money to support that. We had a great time cooking with her and getting to know her better. She's lovely. If you've not gotten a chance to meet her, she's a great example of what youth exchange is all about.
Karen.
Celebrating the springtime season here. If anyone's a birder or enjoys some of the flocks that have been coming through this spring, especially this month, I had a lot of Baltimore Orioles in my yard this week. So just something we can all notice.
Excellent. Anyone want to keep this table before I move back this direction? Okay, I'll do this side. I'll come back over to you, Dave. Fred?
I'm just celebrating the fact that, last night was the first time this year, my wife and I have been able to sit on our deck for 2 days in a row.
Love it. Love it. Dave Martell over here.
I put in a couple of happy bucks for a couple of happy thoughts. First, I was at the celebration of clubs over the weekend, and the co-host was Thea, and she did a fabulous job. I was so proud of you and the work you did. You represented our club well, or all the Rochester clubs, and I just thought you did a fabulous job. So a big hand for Thea. And the other buck I put in was because I have 3 big trees that these fellows are taking down. They're like monkeys hanging from the trees, dropping things one by one. The problem with that is they put their truck in the middle of my driveway and I had to borrow my neighbor's car to get here.
Over here, Laura.
My happy bucks are for the birth of my 3rd grandchild, a grandson. I was just spent 3 weeks in Waco, Texas, helping the new mom, my daughter, get acclimated with her husband. Now they're on their own. But Callahan, Arthur Pepper was 9 pounds, 14 ounces.
If you see anybody on this side, so I'm coming down over here to Judith.
I am overjoyed because yesterday, Audrey took the proposal to 2 different places and got a lot of money to support the project, the water filtration project she's telling about. Got a lot of money, so we're very grateful.
Excellent. Working my way down, back over here. Anybody? Happy bucks? All right, everybody be respectful of time too, Patrick. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank, and here's mine.
So you're gonna do the last one there, Patrick, or?
Yeah, so I just want to put in money for 3 things. One is Christine's helped with planning and scheduling Rochester Fest activities, including the Service Club luncheon. And thank you, Christine. So that's great work. We also have button bargains. So these buttons are the Live Your Dream buttons for Rochester Fest, and you can buy them in the different locations. You'll find media, but I have about 9 buttons here, and I'm going to give them out as prize winners to different tables in a random fashion. So let me do that, but trust that all of you are winners, and if you all can get buttons, they're $5 each. They'll help the community and really reinforce the belonging that we want to promote for this year's theme. And then finally, my daughter is graduating next year. So please, or next week. I'll be in St. Louis next week, and I'll be out of commission for about 4 days. But she's graduating from medical school and heading off to family medicine residency. So one more application. Okay, you can change my adjustment from your pension plan. Dave has the box in the back. If any of you remember to bring lithium batteries, there's a box there. You can drop them off. We'll have this available for the May 23rd gathering as well. And there's a little video clip we're going to need to put on the website on what are the ways you need to prepare and package the lithium batteries. And so look for that. Thank you so much for in advance. It is the Rotary International priority project as well. So thank you for supporting that. Suzanne, do you want to come up and make a comment about memberships? John?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Well,
He's gonna get food.
oh, we can eat first.
Okay, I'm here representing the membership committee. We have been very active, organizing and meeting, and Audrey is our chair. She is out of town, but we decided we would have a little PR regarding what we've been doing. You did see an email that went out to all of you, and I would like to read a little bit of that. As we live out our service of our self-mission, our community and our club benefits as we continue to grow our membership. 8 new Rotarians have joined or are in the process of joining since the 1st of January. Let's keep it going. We all know people who would be outstanding Rotarians. We just need to ask. The membership committee is asking for your help in 2 ways. 1, please invite someone who would be a great Rotarian to attend our upcoming meeting. Dr. Ed Cragen is speaking at our May 23rd meeting. Many of you have heard him speak. He's an outstanding speaker. He's dynamite. He's spoken all over the world for Mayo and for major companies. He has written books, and one of them is How Not to Be My Patient, and the other one is Farewell. And he will be discussing those situations with our club. Even if I understand a lot of people are maybe going to be out of town. If you're out of town, but you still know of someone who would make a great Rotarian and would like to hear a good speaker, encourage them to come. But maybe find another Rotarian who will be here, and they could be the host for that person. And please register your guest ahead of time. Secondly, the membership committee is also bringing back the mentoringship program for our new members. I would like to say when I joined, my most important person at the time was my sponsor, who was Ginny Bartleson, who has since passed away. But she was always very, very important. But secondly was either the person that was my mentor or my mentees, who I helped bring into Rotary and introduce them to people. And so we decided as the membership group to bring that program back. And so we're asking for volunteers from you. There will be a 6-month commitment. You'll help new members get involved, make sure they know about the service projects and committees, encourage attendance, and introduce them to other Rotarians. And please contact Kirsten if you'd like to be a volunteer. I think we already have one volunteer, right? Someone who's Maybe I understood that, but anyway, we're anxious to keep our mentor, our new members involved and make it a warm and inviting place for them. The membership committee is chaired by Audrey Betchel, myself, Celeste Hofer, Sue King, Karen Peterson, and Bill White.
Well done, thank you, Suzanne. We do have one other prospective member that just walked in at the back, my colleague, Prashant Nayak, so an extra guest for us as well. He works in the Department of Treasury and Strategy with Mayo. So, birthday time. Who wants to sing?
I don't.
Judy's always good. You can pitch it.
Happy birthday to
And I was gonna add happy anniversary. So for Lance, Jill, Paul, Frank, and Marilyn, thank you so much. Happy anniversary as well. Service Project Thursday, just a reminder, Audrey Betcher in this room next week will be mapping prejudice project. And if you bring your laptops, she'll help you, guide you through this process. And it was a great experience for the 13 of us that did this last month. We have quite a few agenda items for activities that you can serve on this month. The May 15th, it looks like, Joseph, is that right?
I'm not sure at this moment, probably, yes.
Yes, if it doesn't rain, May 15th or Wednesday. May 14th, we have an announcement, Colin, for landscaping Quarry Hill, phase 1.
Thank you. I am wearing my landscaping attire, which would be appropriate next Tuesday, Quarry Hill. Many of you know where Quarry Hill is. 4 o'clock until 6. Historically, the 3 clubs have planted trees around Rochester. This year, we're preparing a site at Quarry Hill with the intention of planting trees a year from now. So you can sign up or show up. And I was on a call today and they said Ashok promised to help purchase pizza. So I don't know if I should take your American Express. Or talk to your friend in the Treasury Department. I love it. I'm in financial services, but I love that Treasury Department. It's got a great ring to it. Yeah, Treasury Department. Anyway, 4 o'clock Tuesday, rain, well, torrential rain and lightning, they'll cancel it. Light drizzle, they won't. Thanks all.
Thank you, Colin. Yes, we'll be with you, anonymous donors, for supporting the pizza. It is scheduled at 4 to help the youth get out of school and be able to show up to help out. But adults are welcome, and the equipment is provided by Quarry Hill. So just bring the relevant battle gear, as Colin nicely modeled. Then I think the Channel 1 project, we were going to add, invite people on the 4th Monday of every month to join Rotary Risers at Channel 1, and it's from 5:30 to 7:30. We used to do it more regularly before COVID, but this is also an opportunity for you to serve and help the people with insecurity. Dave, do you want to make any other comments about conference on clubs or celebration of clubs?
So
I was going to send a picture to Chairston, and I'll have that at a future meeting, but we did have a booth to celebrate the peace project that we had here in Rochester. Sarah helped put that together, and it was a beautiful booth. Who helped with Davies Printing made 3 very nice posters that were, on a hard surface or whatever that stood up on stands. So we had 3 of those. And then we had a laptop showing the videos of the various projects. And then, like I say, throughout the day, we had our club representative co-hosting and doing a wonderful job. So the whole Conference of Clubs was a great meeting. I would encourage all of you to attend in the future.
Thank you, Dave, and Tia, thank you again for your ambassadorial skills. We are really proud, both as a club, but also as a district, to make change and build peace everywhere we go. Dr. Mariana Gonzalez is holding her wrap-up project May 21st or 22nd at Even Hotel. So that's for the Mentoring 2.0, and we're looking forward to see where that goes for Mentoring 3.0 next year. And finally, Tina, you're almost gonna get ready. Do we have an introduction from your Melody?
Yeah, we should have an introduction.
Oh. Well, Melody's coming up. I'd just like to shout out to Stuart, who's involved with getting our membership pulse, where we're at as a club, what sort of needs and dreams we have going forward. And Stuart, did you want to make any other comments? We'll have 2 more sessions with the QR code that you can do at the next speaker programs. And
Love everyone's participation and feedback. It's a way to share more about what's important and where we can go.
great, thank you.
Well, I love these types of introductions because they're short and sweet. But our speaker today is Tia, our current exchange student from Denmark. And that is all I will say, because she will educate us quite a bit on her year here. And as Tia comes up, I do want to put a plug in. We have learned who our student is for next year. So we will be hosting a 16-year-old Luca Marie, I believe is how you pronounce her name. She's from Germany, and she'll be coming here in August. She will be attending Mayo High School next year, and we are looking for 2 families, one for the first family in the fall and one for the spring. We already have somebody for the winter time frame. So if you are interested, there are flyers on your table that have a little bit of that information, or if you know of anybody that would be interested, please pass that along and reach out to me if there's any questions, or I'm happy to meet with anybody anytime and encourage them to dive into this wonderful world of learning about the world through another individual here. So without further ado, come on up.
Hello. Last time I was here, my parents were with us too, but I know that right now they're watching our favorite soccer team lose in the finale, so they're busy. But it's wonderful to be here. My name is Tara Grunhold. I'm 17 years old, and I have been here in Rochester through Rotary for 8 months now, I think. And I'm going to speak about Denmark, and I'm going to speak about my year. And I'm very excited, and I'm glad so many people are here. So first, I'm going to start off with some geography, because I'm sure many of you know of Denmark, but I definitely hope I can teach you some new stuff. So the red thing here we have is Denmark. And we're a tiny country. We're 6 million people, and we can fit into Lake Michigan, and I tried to put it in a bigger picture. And this is us in the US. It's quite smaller. Our language is Danish, and our capital is Copenhagen. And we're part of Scandinavia. A fun fact is that we have one of the oldest monarchies in the world. I think a lot of you might have heard of our now retired queen, Dronning Margrethe den Anden. And in Denmark, we're very proud of our monarchy, even though they are very only symbolic. They have no real power. And over here we see Christian, which is the king now, and then we have, well, like, who is the incoming king. So, and the bloodline goes back for over 1,000 years, and I know far out I have some royal blood in me too.
That's where it comes from.
Yeah, yes. Okay, and then we have stuff about the government, because our government is unique in some ways. It's very much built on trust, and Denmark as a society is also very like built on trust, and that we have faith in each other. But we have a constitutional monarchy, so again, purely symbolic. This is where all of the politicians are. There's 179. And right now, our prime minister is Mette Frederiksen. She's a woman, and this is her second term. We have elections every 4 years, and she's the head of the Social Democratic Party. And it's a huge, important deal for Denmark to be a part of UN, EU, and NATO, because as such a small country, we don't have a lot of influence, so we kind of depend on countries like the US to help us if we need it, and it like helps us be a part of something bigger. Yeah. And next up, we have a bit more about the Danish society. So one thing you might know about Denmark is that we pay very high taxes, and I found out the number I have on here is actually wrong. It was an old article. We pay around 45% taxes. That's an average thing. So almost half of our paycheck goes to the government, and then we actually have a little more for like the working union. But that also means we have an extremely good welfare and social care. And it's something we really value, and it's awesome. And I mean, it's been quite a contrast being here because we have free healthcare and free education, and a lot of my friends are seniors. So hearing them talk about how much money they're going to spend on college and where they can get in and tuition and everything, it's just like, especially in the start, I was just like kind of like taken aback by it, because it's such a big part of their lives, where I get paid to take an education. And I mean, it's quite the opposite. And when I had to go take some of my vaccines and I had to pay, it was just really mind blowing for me. So that's something I've come to appreciate much more. And we have a very low unemployment rate. It's around 2.6%. And we have one of the biggest middle classes in the world, because there is so much social security. So it's really rare I go out in Denmark and I see homeless people, or I see people laying on the streets. Like, it's just, I mean, it's not to like romanticize it, but it's not like really a thing. And I think that's one of the reasons why we are one of the happiest countries, because it's like you have all of the bases you need to succeed in life and be happy. And that's just something I've realized way more since being here. So that's awesome. And maybe one of the reasons we're happy too is that our drinking age is 16. That's been quite the difference too. It's not something I'm maybe particularly proud about. It is something we do a lot, also in Europe generally. Something I do miss too is the public transportation. I think that's a good foundation for life. And now I want to talk a bit about Moretown and where I come from and who I am. So I live right up here. This is Sweden, and this is where I am. So it's a 20-minute ferry ride, and I can see Sweden from my house. And I can understand Swedish and Norwegian, just because it's very similar languages, and we're very close. And all of these pictures are pictures I've taken myself. It's a very cute Scandinavian town. In the winter, we're 6,000 people, and in the summer, we're around 35,000 people. So it's a very tourist town where a lot of the rich people from Copenhagen come up and live in their nice summer houses, and it just brings a lot of life and a lot of awesome stuff. So I really enjoyed growing up there. And this is how I would say our usual summer days look. This is my house. And we usually sit out with some friends because when the sun finally shines, we really want to be out in it. And you'll see Danes wearing t-shirts and shorts, and whether you shouldn't be wearing t-shirts and shorts. And we have beautiful sunsets. We live right on the coast. As you can see, actually, fun fact too, everybody in Denmark lives at least, or the most they live away from the ocean is 20 minutes drive. And it used to be a fisherman's town. So a lot of people come to fish, and that was like the old industry. And I just, yeah, I kind of miss it. I'm excited to like rediscover my own town. And I know John, your son, he went up and visited my parents and lived there, and he thought it was nice. And I think if any of you ever come to Denmark, I would love to show you around there.
Well, just give me the name of the town again.
Hornbæk. It's kind of hard to see. It's spelled Hornbæk, Hornbæk, and it's really close to the Hamlet Castle in Elsinore. Yeah. So some of my hobbies are reading, even though I have had very little time to do it this year because I've been busy. And I love music, and I love going to concerts, and I'm going to an Orkan concert in a month, so I'm excited for that. And I love painting. I have some blue stuff on me right now. I had art this morning, and we did some prints. So I really enjoy being creative, and I think that's really fun and something I like to explore. I love soccer, and I love Formula One and everything sports, and I played soccer when I first arrived here, and I played soccer for many years. And I think I like cars a lot. And this is my cat, Clinton. And this is my dog, Carlo. And then we have my parents, Lotte and Peter. And my dad is 79. He just turned 79, and my mom is turning 60. So I have a quite unique family tree, and the top picture over there is my half nieces and nephews and me being together. Here we have Rasmus, who is 22. And then we have Line, who's 19, and Jakob, who is 14. So I'm very close with them. And this is a watercolor painting I painted back in Denmark, inspired by Silver Lake, when I found out I was going here. So that was fun. And I remember I sent it to you over WhatsApp. Yeah, and they were like, it's right by our house. I was like, what? And this is just some like pictures to see what my life in Denmark is like. These are my very best friends for the music festival. And I'm excited to see them again, I must say. This is about Laura and Amy, and there's me. And up here we have some of my friends too. And this picture is all of my class, school class. We have like my year, and then we have two classes with 25 people, and that's like our core people that we spend like our entire lives with. So here we're taking a funny picture at our graduation. And I was very lucky to have an internship at the Danish radio on their youth station P3. So I got to be on the Danish national radio for a week. And it was awesome. And it's something, my mom's a journalist, and it's something I might want to pursue, but it was very fun, and I got to meet a lot of people. And then we have Copenhagen, and after the summer, I'm going to move to Copenhagen and take a 3-year further education there. So that's going to be quite the change. My mom has an apartment that I'm going to live in, and she's going to live there like half time. So that's one thing I've had to like think about, like going here first. I thought I would go back to Denmark and everything would be what I once knew, but it's not going to be like that at all. Because somewhere along the way, I kind of realized I couldn't go back to the same because I've just changed so much, and I just needed something bigger than my 6,000 people town, even though I love it. So I'm excited to live in the capital and start school there. We call it gymnasium, but I'm excited. I just got accepted through Rotary, actually. I used that as an, what's it, application. So it has like an international profile. So I'm glad I could use that opportunity. And this is some of my year. I think it would almost be easier to talk about the things I haven't done this year, but that would be quite boring. This year has really, really changed me, and I've just discovered so much about myself, and it's awesome to have almost all of my host parents here. And it's like crazy to see so many like adults that have had such an influence or have such an influence on my life, like in one room. It's very fun. And I can also say it's okay. I've had some of the best host families this year. It's not to be cheesy, but I really have had the best experience, and I've loved being in Rochester too. And I went to homecoming, I went to Hawaii, I went skiing in Colorado. I think there's a picture on the next slide too, maybe. And I went to an NBA game with Joey, one of my host dads. I've tried canoeing, I've tried jet skiing, I've seen Minnesota, I've hosted the celebration of clubs in front of 150 people. I've represented Rotary. I've created so many new friends. I have a yoga club at Century High School with one of my best friends. I've learned so much about myself. I'm going to prom in a few days. I'm going on the East Coast tour from Boston to Florida. I'm going to see Disneyland, and I really can't express how much this has meant to me. Like, this has been the best year of my life, and it's so weird I have to go back in a bit. And it's very overwhelming, and especially when people ask me, what's the best thing about this year? It's like, I can't even speak, like right now, it's like I can't begin to explain what's the best thing is, because even like the bad things has just been so good. You know what I mean? It's like it has taught me so much, and I just feel so much more independent now, and I feel ready to live alone. And I feel like I can do most things. And I think that's one of the biggest gifts. And yeah, so I would just very much like to say thank you for that. And oh, there's probably going to be a question about what we miss the most. And I think it's the food. You know, I have enjoyed the American food, but I'm excited for my parents cooking at some point too. I miss my mom's pasta. She was talking about it today. Yeah, but if any of you have any questions, please ask, or we can talk after. But the most important thing is just I want to say thank you.
Question?
Yes.
I wonder, how did you find out about the Rotary Club and Rotary Youth Exchange?
So my mom is actually the president of the club I'm sent out with right now. So through that I learned about it, and my nephew did an exchange when he was my age, and I just saw how much it changed him too. And he, like, before, he was kind of awkward. And then he came home and he was just so much positive and awesome. So I was like, hey, maybe I should do that. Yeah, and I've always been super interested in the US, and I've always been intrigued by the US and the politics here and the society. And my mom has lived here for 7 years. She studied at Johns Hopkins for a little bit and worked at the World Bank. So I've always had some kind of door open to the US.
You speak beautiful English. And when did you first start to learn the English? If your mother was here, maybe she started you when you were in your diapers, I don't know. But when did you start to learn English, and what did you get before you got here?
I'm happy you think that. I started learning English when I was 5 years old. It's something we do in Denmark because frankly, you can't speak Danish anywhere else than Denmark. And nobody learns Danish and nobody really shouldn't have to learn Danish. So I think I was around 5 years old and I started learning Danish.
You made what I thought was an amazing statement in the beginning, which I think you said the people of your country trust and have faith in the government. Is that what you said?
That is what I said.
I bet if I asked a number of Americans if they have trust and faith in their government, I don't think they'd be as confident as what you said. So that's incredible. You believe that the people have faith and trust in the government. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's something I've appreciated much more because, and as I said, I'm very interested in American politics. And my mom and I would always sit up in the middle of the night and watch the elections and watch the debates. And I wrote my self-directed exam on the U.S. government too, so I have quite a bit of knowledge, and I think it's just it's very interesting what's going on, and I know it's kind of a bombed topic, if you can say that, but let's just say that I've really appreciated my own government a lot and how it works, and I'm kind of glad I won't be here for the election. I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on, but I really have the thing is that every time I meet people here, people are so kind. People are so kind, and I don't think it's a secret that in Europe or in Denmark, we can sometimes look at the American politicians and think what's going on. And I can really believe it sometimes because everybody's just so awesome. So yeah.
When you were doing your training as an outbound student to our country, was there anything in that training you felt that really helped you the most? If you can remember that far back.
It particularly stands out how many times we have to hear what we're not allowed to do. The 6 B's and the 6 D's. But I think it was just nice talking to former Rotary Youth Exchange students, and hearing their perspective and just kind of preparing for that. And we had a sleepover, and it was just really nice talking with everybody else as it is here, when we come together in North Star as a district and talk and share our experiences. But I don't know if there's something that stands out. Yeah.
Thank you.
Can I ask maybe not totally politically correct question, but I was just wondering if there's much immigration into Denmark.
We have a pretty strict immigration policy. It's getting looser though, and the thing is, our society depends on it. If we didn't have immigrants, we would be nothing. Because as I said, everybody is really lucky in Denmark. If you're Danish, you are a part of a pretty exclusive club that gets very good benefits, just has good opportunities. So sadly, a lot of the attitude in Denmark or Danes have are that some of the easy jobs or bad jobs are not good enough. Whereas so a lot of those jobs get occupied by people fleeing, and I mean, they don't know the language and they want a job. So it's hugely important for them to have immigration. And I know there's a lot of people from Poland and other countries, and it's very important that we have that. And I don't think people realize how big of a part of our society it is.
By being involved in the rest of your immunizations, does Denmark require immunizations at an early age? And was your country shut down during COVID?
Yes, we do require, immunization, I'm pretty sure. It's probably some different ones. And we were shut down during COVID. Midden, our prime minister, she did a really good job. It was very strict. And I mean, it was hard. We were one of the countries that came out on top. And one of the things about Denmark too, compared to other countries in Europe, is that a lot of the countries are in a recession, or like they're like economically it's not going as well as it has been, like with the war and stuff. Denmark is in a contrast to that because we're actually growing, and economically we're doing super well. And I don't know if anybody had heard about Novo Nordisk, but I mean, yeah, we have a lot of companies that are just really good, and I mean bring in a ton of money, so that's quite nice.
So Thea, you talk about your social programs. Are they similar to what takes place in Sweden? My niece married someone from Sweden, and the maternity leave coverage for an entire year plus another 6 months of paternity leave. It's amazing what they do for parents and their children. Is that similar in Denmark?
I mean, if you're a parent, you get money from the state until you're 18. To take care of your child. I mean, it's not a lot. And I don't want you to think that Denmark is like a socialistic country, because it's not, it's social democratic, and we have free economy. And in very, very big parts, it's like the US, but just with a little more like government help. And as I said, after the summer, when I start my education, I'm gonna get around probably $300 a month for taking an education. Because it's like the idea is that you're getting educated and helping societies, so therefore society gives back. And I like that way of thinking a lot. And I mean, dental care is free until we're 25, and then it becomes really expensive. But yeah, it's just something I've been reflecting about this year was just how like kind of afraid I would be if healthcare would be, I mean, would cost money, especially because I have older parents and a lot of my family are older. I feel like I would just be in a kind of constant state of fear. So it's wonderful to know my mom and dad can go get their checkups, and there's nothing to worry about.
Thank you, Tia. I'm left speechless with having a young generation like leaders like yourself. It really inspires hope and fulfills our Rotary Years theme of create hope in the world. If we could clone you or find ways to keep you connected with us in the year ahead, it would be really great. We want to also wish you a great, safe trip to the Boundary Waters.
Oh, yeah.
And also your trip out to the East Coast.
Yeah.
And just to plug in also for the loyal, royal path that you've led from over 1,000 years. I think that blood is really alive in your brain and your heart. You should keep it circulating. If you ever want to run for president of the United States. So you'd have a good chance. The other thing you may not know about your mom, well, you know about your mom, but the rest you might not, is her PhD was in terrorism and the analytics of what risks and vulnerabilities countries have. So do you want to make a comment on that?
Yeah, she doesn't have a PhD, but she did write a book, and I know I'll be back next year to Rochester. Saying hi to, I'm planning on coming back next year and saying hi to everybody. So I assume I'll be making a round around the Rotary Club. So hopefully you'll see me again.
Margot. Well, safe travels and congratulations again on a great year and a great update for us. As far as changing the healthcare systems and financing, you can talk to Prashant and I back there on your way out and give him your recommendation. So in wrapping up today, I'd love to see if I can remember who I need to thank. Our greeters, so John Woodruff, Sergeant of Arms, four-way test was Cynthia Dowdy. Invocation and reflection with Bill Richter for Nicholas, and I learned a lot about Apollo. Introduction of guests, Don Meyer, and Sherston for tech support. Our introduction of speaker Melody, and all the host families. If I could grab a picture of all of you as with a selfie, that would be great. We are adjourned. Thank you.